Yādava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanarandana Yashodanandana Vrajajanarandana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanarandana Yashodanandana Vrajajanarandana Yashodanandana Vrajajanarandana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Nitya Gaur, Haribo, 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 Gaura Haribo. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, सामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदी, हरि 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 बोल. You can hear that in many assemblies, in even Harinam Sankirtan, some devotees sing different melody. Have you heard that? Not because they cannot repeat, because every living being has its own song. It is mentioned that what's the total number of ragas which were used during the rasa dance, you know. And even more, it is mentioned that there is total number of how much? Same exact number, how many living bodies are there in the universe? How much is that? 16,000? Yeah. 8,400,000 different ragas, different melodies. For each embodied living being, there's special melody in that body. Yes, but there's the main ragas, and then there's like even less main, and ISKCON devotees probably know 4 or 6. I know one devotee around here, he knows 24 ragas. He plays on veena actually. So today we are singing one of the songs, and even then the song is one depending on the context. Compiler, or the one who is talking, Srila Vyasadeva, who is also celebrated person today, he was using different meters also. And we see today is a little bit meter different than classical one here today. So therefore, let's start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we have a continuation of the probably one of the technical chapters, which is related to the universal form. And here we have prayers which are describing, which is Arjuna talking, right? Yes? Everybody agrees? Arjuna is explaining, he giving his version, his vision, what he just saw. Let's try to repeat. Pitasi lokasya characharasya Pitasi lokasya charācarasya tvām asya pūjyascha gurūn gariyān tvām asya pūjyascha gurūn gariyān na tvat-samakṣaṁ kutonya na tvat-samakṣaṁ kutonya. How much we are good compared to Shukadeva Goswami, who could remember all Srimad Bhagavatam. You know, what to speak of Ganesha, who was trying to understand things. We can't really repeat Sanskrit, so that's why we have Vyasadeva, who actually compiled so many nice scriptures, especially for us. Lokatraye pya apratima prabhava Lokotraye pya pratima prabhava. The first line is okay. Pitasya lokasya charācarasya tvamasya pūjyascha gurūn gariyān na tvat-samakṣaṁ abhidhikah kutonya lokatraye pya pratima prabhava. Kṛṣṇa.
Pitasi lokasya charācarasya tvamasya pūjyasya gurūr gariyān na tat-samakṣaṁ kutonya uktaṁ pratima prabhava. Pitasi lokasya charācarasya asya pūjyasya gurūr gariyān tat-samakṣaṁ kutonya pratima prabhava. Pitasi lokasya charācarasya tvamasya pūjyasya gurūr gariyān tat-samakṣaṁ abhidhikah kutonya
Lokotrayepya pratima prabhava. Mataji's? Pitasi lokasya charācarasya tvamasya pūjyascha gurūr gariyān na Lokotrayepya pratima prabhava. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Arjuna is saying, this is not mentioned, but we understand by you are the father of cosmic manifestation, of the moving and the non-moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is equal to you, nor can anyone be one with you. Then this question, how then could be there anyone greater than you within the three worlds? O Lord of immeasurable power. So it's an interesting way how to express your wonder, your idea that sometimes you ask, how is it possible? Is it possible? that somebody is greater than you? Yeah, it's actually indirect confirmation. I think is no one, but how it's possible, you know? Same like Rupa Goswami says. If you want to be attached to family life, don't go to Keshigat. Don't go. That means better go. Different ways acharyas do it. So purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa, is worshipable as a father is worshipable for his son. He is the spiritual master because he originally gave the Vedic instructions to Brahma and presently is also instructing Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. Therefore, he is the original spiritual master, and any bona fide spiritual master at the present moment must be descendant in a line of disciplic succession stemming from Kṛṣṇa. Without being a representative of Kṛṣṇa, one cannot become a teacher or spiritual master of transcendental subject matter. The Lord is being paid obeisances in all respects. He is an immeasurable greatness. No one can be greater than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Kṛṣṇa, because no one is equal to or higher than Kṛṣṇa within any manifestation, spiritual or material. Everyone is below him. No one can excel him. This is stated in Shvetashvara Upanishad 6.8. Na tasya karyam karanam cha vidyate, na tat-samakṣaṁ cha drishyate. The Supreme Lord Kṛṣṇa has senses and a body like ordinary man. Is it like a statement which hits you like in a forehead? No? He has a body and senses like ordinary man. But for him there is no difference between his senses, body, mind and himself. Foolish persons who do not perfectly know him say that Kṛṣṇa is different from his soul, mind, heart and everything else. Kṛṣṇa is absolute, therefore his activities and potencies are supreme. It is also stated that although he does not have senses like ours, he can perform all sensory activities. Therefore, his senses are neither imperfect nor limited. No one can be greater than him, no one can be equal to him, and everyone is lower than him. The knowledge, strength, and activities of Supreme Personality are all transcendental, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tattvaha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam iti sa Arjuna. Whoever knows Kṛṣṇa's transcendental body, activities and perfection after quitting his body returns to him and does not come back again to this miserable world. Therefore, one should know that Kṛṣṇa's activities are different from others. The best policy is to follow the principles of Kṛṣṇa. That will make one perfect. It is also stated that there is no one who is master of Kṛṣṇa. Everyone is his servant. Chaitanya Chaitamrita, Adi 5.142 confirms, Ekale Ishvara Kṛṣṇa Ara Sabha Britya. Only Kṛṣṇa is God and everyone else is his servant. Everyone is complying with his order. There is no one who can deny his order. Everyone is acting according to his directions, being under his superintendence. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, he is a cause of all causes. Om ajānatā-mirandasya jnānanjana-śalakaya chakṣuranmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Jaya Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We have such a short class, but there's so many subjects we would be useful, beneficial to discuss. First of all, this is universal form. Then we have a appearance, disappearance, double disappearance. Who was listening in the morning to the beautiful class by Devi Shakti Mataji? She was explaining everything nicely. All basically subjects. She had a verse on Sri Vyasadeva, so it's a little bit different. We have a verse in universal form. I would like to ask you, do you have any unclarities, any doubts, any ideas which you are not quite sure about universal form, which you have in your mind? Which you are not sure. Because the faith in Kṛṣṇa and his activities, birth, everything, is transcendental. And one who has a full faith in that, he will go to him. Right? So even the small part, something in this universe, if it causes us bewilderment, misunderstanding or something else, until we clear it and completely sure how it works or how it's connected to Kṛṣṇa, we will not be able to go back to Kṛṣṇa, because that will be our stumbling block. Universal form. There's an interesting idea which I just heard today in one class. We have one of our Russian sannyasis. By his mercy, I'm a little bit editing his classes before he puts online. And just today he was talking one of the unusual topics which exactly touched the subject point today. And that was how Lord Chaitanya showed universal form to Advaitacharya. You know the thing? Where it is? It's not actually Chaitanya, the Chaitanya Bhagavata, Madhya chapter 24. And yes, of course, chapter 23 was so amazing because that was first Harinam which was organized by Lord Chaitanya. And you know, when we start our Harinamas, we start like 2 people. I just had a contact with one devotee and I didn't know, but he was one who started the whole street Harinams here in Vrindavan. You know, there was just 2 people standing in front somewhere, and gradually the whole thing expanded and expanded. But Lord Chaitanya, when he starts, that's like everybody should remember. You know, the first Harinam, and Chaitanya Bhagavat explains there was millions of people, and torchlights and things, and a really ecstatic approach to the whole thing was that also there was an impediment, right? There was a Chankazi, there was a Muslim ruler who was trying to break the whole thing, even breaking Mridangas. And there was uprising, and everybody was going, oh, let's go, let's smash that house and destroy the garden and everything, like this. And everybody was so fired up. And at the end, when the whole kirtan started, they just completely absorbed the whole thing. They just forgot the bodies, they were dancing in the branches of trees and everything. Yeah, it's an amazing description. So next chapter is also dancing. And in one stage, such an amazing thing, Advaitacharya started dance, but not just dance. He was dancing in a mood of gopi. Can you imagine that? Advaitacharya. Who is Advaitacharya by Tattva? Mahavishnu and Sadashiva as well. But of course, we have to understand that even such a great personalities who have quite a strict, code of behavior according to their positions, in the Chaitanya Lila, they act completely different way. So he was dancing and he was rolling on the ground, He was dancing so crazily that after 6 hours, all devotees were completely exhausted and he was still dancing. And they're just like, oh, okay, that's it, done. Starting probably sulking back to their homes, and still he was dancing. And Chaitanya was also finished. I don't know how it actually happened, but he found out that still in the courtyard, Advaitacharya is still rolling on the ground. Everybody's done, everybody's finished in the home, and he was still rolling in the ground, and chanting. So he went to the courtyard and picked him up personally, because he was in such ecstasy, and brought him to the house and set him down and so on, and just cool down. It's enough for today. And then he was very pleased because of that dancing, and he asked him, please ask me a boon. What do you want? I want to give you some benediction. And of course, he was explaining straight away, you are the personified knowledge of the Vedas, and you know everything. He was glorifying in different ways. And said, no, okay, it's quiet, okay, just ask me the boon, And of course, after, some discussion back and forth, he finally said, okay, I want only one boon. I want to have eternal service at the Lotus feet. Oh, come on. I want to see you always, I want to serve you. So I'm here, you can serve. Yes, really straightforward, So, and he said, okay, I have one desire in the heart. Long time ago, Arjuna, he was shown this universal form. Would you be so kind to show me the same thing? And he didn't have to say anything. It's exactly same second, he started seeing horses around. He was seeing the chariot, and there was Arjuna sitting, offering prayers, and there was 400. It's explaining Chaitanya Bhagavad. The 400 personality, and the whole universe was everything was there. There's only how much, like 5-6 verses compared to the Bhagavad Gita, how it's explained. And he was amazed, and he saw all these forms, and he saw the mouths and the fire, and everything was rushing in those mouths, and so on, so on. So that was his desire fulfilled. But one important point is, which as far as I understand, I don't have opened the word, but I was reading, because that version which currently came out, I don't know, or not, there's a new Veda-based version, 2025, and it divided to Veda-based and Vani-based. And Vani-based has a completely perfect copy of Brihad Bhagavatamrita, with the commentaries of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. So he was saying that every living being have their own vision of this universe. The Sanskrit saying, Atmaram manyade jagat. There was this funny picture. This animal rhinoceros with a horn in the front. There's a picture of him painting. He had some painting, and he was painting the scenery, the mountains and the forest and thing. And there was some few more paintings next to that lying down, which already finished. And unique feature that every painting had a mountain in the front, like this, because he was seeing his horn. So every painting in front had a mountain there. So this is how you explain you see universe according to your own vision. What to do? Probably some elephants can see the world with the horns, especially those which are old times. They had 4 horns. These are unique elephants. Anyways, it is explained that every person he sees the universe different. Besides that, if you want to ask Lord Kṛṣṇa to show universal form again, it is impossible. Even though Kṛṣṇa asked, Advaitacharya asked Kṛṣṇa, Chaitanya, to show universal form, he was not showing exactly the same thing which was showing to Arjuna. He was showing that kind of form which was interesting, which was appealing to Advaitacharya. Because his vision is already, he is a creator of the universe, he is a Mahavishnu, he is our things. For him, those things which was amazing for Arjuna was daily life. For him, the whole thing was completely different. And even if we, for some amazing chance, we would see a universal form shown by Kṛṣṇa in the future, who knows, then that form will be also different. You have to understand that. By the way, if we're remembering the occasion which is today, the appearance of Vyasadeva, which is Vyasa Purnima, he was also shown the universal form. And one of the short descriptions was there. He was seeing all the universe, but he also was seeing maya, the illusion, how it covers living beings. So that is quite of a different level of the vision, because he also could see appearance and disappearance of Lord. Because, when you go to the theater, all the, curtains open and close, and the background, all the guys who are playing, they are disappearing, and they dressing different ways and so on. It's not visible to us, It's just fast, and change the dresses, come back in different way. But when Kṛṣṇa does that, it is more amazing, and no living being can see that. Even the higher, the demigods, and even the incarnations of Vishnu, they cannot see, they cannot actually understand how the Maya works. Even Balarama personally, he cannot see through the Maya of Kṛṣṇa. You know any case when it happened? Who knows? This was about?
Well, when Brahma saw...
Right, exactly the point. And because he was observing the whole thing that, the coward boys and the cows, and especially mothers, coward boys not so much, but mothers really behaving quite different way. They are really exhibiting more love to their calves and the coward boys, calves. What's going on? And he couldn't figure it out. For a whole year he couldn't figure out. And finally he was getting there's some kind of independent Mayas going on. That's Kṛṣṇa's plan, which I cannot see through. So even Balaram personally, who is expanding the Vrindavan and everything. So Kṛṣṇa has his own Maya. Actually, Balaram also has his own Maya. And Maya has his own Maya, material energy. So everyone is having some kind of illusion. And we are also known, one of 4 defects of living beings is we try to cheat others. We might try to make impression of something which we are not. It's true. But actual truth, we would like to understand what is actual truth. But not always possible. Because we understand, from material point of view, yes, it's true, we are seeing the world as we want to see it. Simple example. Let's say the husband and wife, they walk in the shopping center. And the wife is passing by, and she will not just completely, you ask after 10 minutes, how many shops you passed? And she will remember, there was shoe shop, and there was the jewelry shop, and something more. But there was 20 shops of the DIY store, there was the motorbike shop, and there was some kind of man's watch shop, and there was many shops, and she was ask her underneath the hypnosis. She will not remember it, because her mind is completely absorbed in the things which you are interested. So the same thing happens to us. We see only things which we like to see. But it's also true in the spiritual world. Everybody sees Kṛṣṇa and inhabitants according to their relationship with Kṛṣṇa. Is it such an amazing thing? It's normal. It's nothing new for us, really, because we are such advanced devotees. We heard so many beautiful classes. But for someone is saying, okay, we are searching for absolute truth. That means one truth. But it's not truth like we see the wall. We see the things. Absolute truth is personality. That's a different. It's not situation. It's not environment is absolute truth. You go and you see beautiful mountain. But other person goes and says, it's terrible. Too much waterfall coming out. It's flooding my garden. All my flowers which need a little bit of water, now they're completely flooded. It just sees differently. Another one is like, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's reminding me of Govardhan and all the waterfalls. Now there's no waterfalls in Govardhan. It used to be beautiful. And there were some caves which are covered by waterfall. You can go behind the waterfall and hide there. And it's beautiful sound, it's always cool, and nobody can hear outside because the water is absorbing all the sounds. So it's natural environment for the pastimes of Kṛṣṇa and his associates. Depends, cowboys or gopis, whatever. So therefore, how we approach the situation, and Kṛṣṇa first of all, it all depends on our personal desire, how to want to see. And therefore, it is important. How to jump to next subject. Just besides the Srimad Bhagavatam in the morning, we also listen to the fourth chapter of the confidential reasons of appearance of Lord Chaitanya. And we haven't come to that one. It's Ad Lila 4 and it's 146. There's some verse which really kind of made an impression on me. Who manifests an abundance of sweetness greater than mine? Who is talking? Okay, let's find out. Which has never been experienced before and which is causing me wonder to all. Alas, I myself, my mind bewildered upon seeing this beauty, impetuous desire to enjoy it like Srimati Radharani. That's Kṛṣṇa talking. And the purport, it is given that this is quote from Lalita Madhava 834 by Rupa Goswami, and was spoken by Kṛṣṇa himself when he saw his reflection in a jeweled fountain somewhere in Dwarka. Interesting. In Prabhupada, it takes the same verse and in a different way. In Madhya Lila, 8th chapter, exactly the same verse, comes in different flavor. And here's Kṛṣṇa is like kind of directly, there's these quotation marks. Upon seeing my own reflection in bejeweled pillar of this Dwarka palace, Kṛṣṇa desired to embrace it, saying, alas, I have never seen such a person before. Who is he? Who is he? Just by seeing him, I have become eager to embrace him exactly like Srimati Radharani. So Prabhupada is so amazing. He can take the same verse and put it in different way according to the place in the scripture. So we can say he's also kind of an expert Vyasadeva, because Vyasadeva is one who is dividing the one knowledge and explaining in a palatable way according to the persons who read it, who actually hear it. And if you cannot hear philosophy, what you can hear? You can hear stories. Like we are used to be a little bit attracted to the soap opera, to the movies which are going on for series and series. I just spoke with one of my friends in ashram, and he said, oh, my poor mother, she's 83. What she's doing, she's putting TV on, and there's some, it used to be like there's a morning program, an evening program, and this, and in the evening there's a movie, But now there's a special channels and a cable TV, the same movie which has a 273 series, whatever it is, they go on one after each other. And there's nothing on, it just switches on and you're sitting there for 8-10 hours straight. Oh, maybe it's just training for the Prabhupada's life story, because Bhakti Maharaj, he made such a beautiful, beautiful, I haven't seen it actually at all, but some series of life of Srila Prabhupada. So it's so absorbing, so completely absorbing. Yeah. So these are the things which are important for us to actually understand, that our spiritual master, who is representative of Vyasadeva and Sanatana Goswami, of course, he is giving us the knowledge according to our level. In the same way, like Kṛṣṇa shows different universal forms according to the people who want to see it. Also the Veda, one single knowledge, but we just only can imagine how many levels the same knowledge can be. And the most difficult for that would be probably in one level, if you have something, it is contradictory or poisonous. And next level, why it is mentioned in Vedas? If the Shudra hears a Veda, better for him to die. Better to put him liquefied metal and pour in his ear. It is better than he listens to the Veda. It's so harsh. That means there's knowledge which by hearing you'll become, you lose your faith, you start offending things, better you don't hear it. We had a quite an interesting question to Sri Ramaswamy once, and he in one of his podcasts said that And it was just literally blew my mind, same like here, that Kṛṣṇa has the same body as the normal living beings. And unless you understand in the whole context of the scriptures, it will just, it will be doubtful. So he mentioned in something that some story going on, and that the listening or hearing of Kṛṣṇa Katha will not give you desired result. I was like, what's going on? What's going on? And I especially asked him the question, what do you mean? And I said, of course, you have to understand the context. And there's a kind of beginning devotees who have this idea why I want to hear. And today, Mataji explained so nicely why there is such a huge, enormous amount of people going around the Govardhan today. Just last year, and exactly same day, I was in Radhakund. By accident. You cannot believe. There's no accidents, of course. I was doing my passport renewal in Delhi. And I had an appointment, and I was going from Mumbai on a train. And suddenly, some people start asking me, are you going to Radhakund? Are you going to Radhakund? I said, well, why would I go to Radhakund? I'm going to Delhi. And I had no idea that same train is passing through the Radhakund. Actually, no, there is a train stop called Govardhan. Actually, Radhakund also, but not every day. The train stopped there. So I said, okay, sure, why not? Let's go to Radhakund. And I jumped off the train. I had a full ticket to Delhi. I said, no, let's go to Radhakund. And it happened to be exactly the same day, Vyasa Purnima. I said, okay, beautiful. And I went to Govardhan, and there was no people going. It was just huge crowds. They didn't even let, a few kilometers away, no rickshaws allowed in the whole parikrama path. You had to walk. So I was walking from Govardhan village to Radhakund. And I thought, okay, let's pay obeisances, take a water. Nothing. All Radhakund was completely blocked off. Every single entrance was huge fence there. Why? Because in case the crowd gets crazy, people start droning, they just go inside. They didn't believe, there's a quite orderly manner in somewhere in Varanasi when everybody goes, swimming, but who knows what happens there. So therefore they were careful. But also I think there's a background also. There's too much impurities in the hearts of those people. So therefore, if you go there, with the whole desire, how Mataji explained, you just want to be cured. And I want to have some miracle, I want to have wealth, I want to have good health, a long life, something like that. So with those desires, you approach Guru. And therefore, these crowds were, kept away from Radhakund for a couple of days, at least for a week, I think so, until the whole parikrama finished. So yes, this is something to do with also our dear Acharya who disappeared today. It's Sanatana Maharaj, Sanatana Goswami. Yeah, whole story is there. And we are so lucky that because he presented, and he was actually given particular, Kṛṣṇa, if I have it here, I should have it here. Yes, I have it here. So when Sanatana Goswami later went to Puri, he meant already, I think one time in, where he was? Kṛṣṇa, what's my memory? They met already one time with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We were in Jasore. Anyways, that was second meeting. And he gave particular instructions. Mataji mentioned 3. I found 4. So Chaitanya gave him 4 direct instructions to Sanatana Goswami. First, to write books teaching Bhakti Yoga, the process of devotion of Kṛṣṇa. So that would be a little bit of a general, because the other Goswamis was given also the same task. But particularly that was also given to him. Second, to discover and excavate places in Vrindavan where Kṛṣṇa had his pastimes. Right. To establish the service of deity murtis in Vrindavan. So he did that with Madan Mohan. But particularly for him also was given to compile a book establishing proper behavior for devotees of Kṛṣṇa in order to create foundation of proper Vaishnava society. So that was which book? Hari Bhakti Vilas. Although it's said that they worked together with Gopal Bhatta Goswami, right? And because he was kind of had a strong connection with the smarta brahmanas, so therefore there was a lot of influence. Not influence, but actually they kind of indirectly meant for that kind of public. And therefore, I haven't heard exactly, read the whole place, but some devotees mentioned that Prabhupada said, this Prabhupada said, a thing, that if you try to follow Hari Bhakti Vilasa, you go to hell. And I thought, well, okay. Anyways, the whole idea was that so many restrictions are there that devotees actually we don't have our Vaishnava etiquette page by page like we discuss nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion, something like that, Therefore, it is written, it is there, and main principles and some chapters and some prayers we take in a deity worship, there's a prayers from there and so on. But the whole book as such, it is not studied deeply or invented as a textbook for the behavior of Vaishnavas. It's a little bit too much, Maybe in some higher stages, yes. But also we have to understand that in higher stages, that whole approach to the daily life is not as strict, and people start to adjust their own lifestyles, But that comes later. At the same time, we understand, yes, sadhana is be there. Acharyas especially mentioned about Raghunath Das Goswami. His sadhana was like lines on a stone. He was doing that every day. Sanatana Goswami doing every day. He was doing parikrama, not a small parikrama. He was doing the big parikrama, which is almost 40 kilometers, right? Yeah, he was like a father. We read here that Kṛṣṇa is a Gurun Gariyan, the glorified spiritual master. Exactly the same thing he was. It can be related to Sanatana Goswami. He was glorified. He was so dear to all Brajabasis that even now everybody is worshipping him after so many years. Brajabasis, because he could just sit and listen for hours what they're talking. For that you need real spiritual vision. Not like us, when we talk, when we hear those things, that so much prajalpa, they don't know Kṛṣṇa Katha, but he could say, this is sweet talk of Brajabasis. I also can assume that those Brajabasis are quite different from those which we have now. Here Brajabasis nowadays are a little bit of a tourist type, they come to here to or earn money, and if you want real, like pure-blooded Brajabasi, you have to find somewhere back streets somewhere, not in Vrindavan, not in the big villages, somewhere back street. They have, and you can hear. Just some days ago, probably months ago, I was going parikrama in Ekadashi, and I found one place, and there was probably a group of 20 Matajis, and they were just singing, one after another, different bhajans of Kṛṣṇa, and 2 free stand up and dancing and so on. It was just so spontaneous, We are thinking, we have to go Harinam from this hour, that 79, and so on. But when we actually come to the ecstatic devotion which is expressed by the Goswamis and the proper, bona fide Vrajabasis, they can do for hours, They can completely forget eating and sleeping. They just chant and they just chant and chant. Like we used to do, in the young age. We just do camping, You have been camping in a forest fire and in a tent, you bake potatoes with the butter and so on. I don't know, Indians do that or not. In the Western world, it's like it's a topmost dish, You just put the potatoes, nowadays they put in some aluminum foil around, but otherwise just throw potato in a coal, the fire going out, and then just pick it out and cut it open, put big piece of butter with the salt, and it's a real Brajamasi life, and what they do. In our country we have this type of, the cowherd people. They never, the cows are brought out to the grass during the day, but there's such a strange habit that they bring horses out at night. So there's some cowherd boys which are herding cows in the day, but then there's special people who go at night, and they just go with the horses, and they make campfire, and they sing all night. And one melody which I heard from Harinam Sankirtan here, Hare Kṛṣṇa, as exactly melody in our country when you sing that night song of the guys who are sitting in a campfire. Exactly like the tone by tone. How is that possible? Where is their origin? And I would say probably the Vrindavan is origin. Yeah, everything is coming from Krishna. He is all causes, cause of all causes. In the same way, the culture, the songs, whatever in the world we can see, we don't need to see the universal form. We just look at the culture now. Every single language, every single culture, cooking style and dressing style, even looking at the people, how they look. You just go to the east of India and you see all the people look like Chinese or Japanese. You go that side, they look like, you go down side south, they look like Africans, you don't need to go outside India, everything is there. Many people ask me, which country you like most? And I said, I like India. Really? Because most of the Indian people, they like to go across the border, earn for money or something like that. Oh, you're from Russia. Can you organize me visa for Russia? I said, why would I go there? It's nonsense. It's good enough. Unless you want to go preaching. So if you want to preaching, then it's good. Bhaktivinoda Maharaj, when he first met me, he said, do you have a wife? I said, no, I'm Vanaprastha. That she has some leverage over your property? I said, I don't have property. Oh, that's good. Now you can preach. I said, yes, I can do. If you want to become sannyasi, don't stay in India, go in Russia. It's too long queue for sannyasis in India. Yeah, that's the first instruction. So for us, it's same. We have to understand preaching is the blood, the source, the essence of our movement. In whatever we take part, whatever strength we have to push the preaching, the spreading, otherwise the whole movement will be dead pretty soon. Because we'll do the program which is called Food for Life for me and wife. So let's not do that, but follow the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, his original Vyasadeva who started the whole thing. His Vyasadeva during his incarnation, which was Vrindavan Das Thakur, Sanatana Goswami. Amazing person who is Bhaktichara Maharaj. Just one short fact about him, that he was doing so much translation, so much service. But just before that, I think the year before, there was Prabhupada Vyasa Puja, and he wrote in his offering to Prabhupada, said, Prabhupada, whatever you asked me, I did. All my tasks which you have given me are finished. Now please take me back. And very short after, he passed away. So Krishna fulfills. If you are desirous of proper motivation in your heart, you'll be fulfilled. If you ask with a pure heart, Krishna, show me universal form, why not? Easy breezy. He can show you more than universal form. He can show you spiritual world. He showed to the coward boys, he showed the spiritual world, right? And they were amazed, like, this world looks same like our house. It's the same thing. So therefore, whatever vision we have, we can be. And when we come back to Krishna's world, we have their own vision too. If we are in different village, in different family, the cooking will be different. The attitude towards the people around will be different. Depends on which yutha, which dynasty, which family we are in spiritual world, because the variety is there much more. Now we have like 18,000, 16, or whatever, 8,400,000. There was some counting in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or no, or maybe Ujjwal Nilmani, how many different types of gopis are there. There's strong ones and medium ones and the really fired up ones, and then there's younger and experienced, less experienced, and then there's like, if you multiply each of them, there's 1 million types of gopis. That's why I started class with so many different ragas, for each living being there is separate music, special rag. And for us, the most important is to find our own rag. What is our melody? which one will be played and which we can hear, and we'll be just running like crazy towards Kṛṣṇa, not taking account anything else. So I wish you all, you'll find your own music inside, thanks to Kṛṣṇa's director indirect mercy, depends on you. And let's pray to Bhagavad Gita. She can give us blessings. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Thank you. Some questions, some additions, please.
I have a question. We understand that Bhagavad Gita is divided into 3 parts, right? The first part, karma, yoga, last one, jnana yoga, and the middle part in the middle is bhakti yoga.
Right.
So, my question is, this 11th chapter is part of the section for bhakti yoga.
Right.
But this aspect of the universal form really is Aishvarya, like seeing Kṛṣṇa with all reverence. And I was just wondering, after Kṛṣṇa explained the absolute truth in the 10th chapter already, giving so much personal details about himself, why then, in that portion, is the need of this, in the 11th chapter, why is the need to
Well,
this universal form?
my simple understanding is like this. For Bhakti Yoga, we need example. So, when Arjuna approaching Kṛṣṇa, he would be just approaching Aishvarya. He didn't ask for Aishvarya. He didn't ask. He actually wanted to see Kṛṣṇa's aspect as how he enters. He didn't want to see the amazing things in the universe. He actually wanted to understand how is Kṛṣṇa, who is before him, how he is entering in the universe. So that is more aspect, which is more important than the form itself, how Kṛṣṇa is entering there. One more thing is how easily Kṛṣṇa was submitting, agreeing to show that thing. So in same way, Arjuna was asking, oh, please drive my chariot in the middle of someone. So these sweet interactions, and also how devotee reacts on something like that, and how he finally says, please, 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 I want to see your sweet form. So this is more important than the whole thing as such. I see those things which are essential, which we have to pay attention more than the form, how Kṛṣṇa interacts with Arjuna, how he easily submits, because he's such a pure devotee, he submits. Okay, he drives a chariot, he shows a form, he says, oh, stop form, go me, show me this one. He's serving his devotee, so that for the sweetness of bhakti is in him, how he is serving his devotee, and as a reciprocation. So I think that's essential in this chapter, more than the form itself.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Okay, you're done for today. Thank you so much. Grantaraj Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Premanandi, Hari 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 Bo.